The year was 2134, and humanity's long-held dream of establishing contact with an advanced alien civilization had finally been realized. After decades of searching the stars and deciphering the first faint radio signals from beyond Earth, the crew of the interstellar spacecraft Endeavor had made the momentous discovery. Their journey had begun nearly a century earlier, a bold expedition launched from a world weary of war and environmental devastation. The Endeavor's mission was to seek out new worlds, to forge connections with alien races, and usher in a new era of galactic cooperation. And now, after traversing the vast, uncharted expanse of interstellar space, they had succeeded. As the Endeavor approached the alien homeworld, the crew buzzed with excitement and trepidation. What would these extraterrestrial beings be like? Would they welcome humanity's overtures of friendship, or view them as a threat to be eliminated? The fate of humanity's future rested on the outcome of this first contact. When the Endeavor finally established orbit around the planet, the crew eagerly scanned the surface for any signs of life. At first, there was little activity, just sprawling cities and vast swaths of untamed wilderness. But then, the sensors detected the unmistakable signatures of advanced technology: towering spires, complex infrastructure, and fleets of sleek spacecraft traversing the skies. "We've done it," breathed the captain, Commander Sarah Winters, her eyes shining with a mixture of pride and awe. "Centuries of dreams and hard work have led us to this moment. Now, the true test begins." After a tense exchange of radio signals, the alien civilization acknowledged the presence of the Endeavor and its human crew. To the humans' surprise, however, the aliens seemed largely indifferent to their arrival. There was no grand welcome, no elaborate displays of power and technology. Instead, the aliens simply instructed the Endeavor to maintain its position in orbit while they assessed the situation. Days passed, and the humans grew increasingly anxious. Why were the aliens not more excited about making contact with another sentient species? Had they somehow offended or threatened the alien civilization without realizing it? "Perhaps they simply don't see us as a threat," mused Dr. Aisha Nader, the Endeavor's chief xenobiologist. "Based on our initial scans, their technology and capabilities far exceed our own. To them, we may be little more than curious insects, not worthy of their full attention." The other crew members considered her words, unsettled by the implications. If the aliens truly viewed humanity as insignificant, what did that mean for their future interactions? Would they ever be accepted as equals, or would they forever remain on the fringes of the galactic community? As the days turned into weeks, the Endeavor's crew grew restless. They longed to make planetfall, to establish direct contact with the alien civilization, and learn about their culture, their history, and their technological marvels. But the aliens remained steadfast in their indifference, occasionally sending terse messages instructing the humans to maintain their distance. Finally, after nearly a month of waiting, the breakthrough came. The alien leaders had agreed to a diplomatic meeting, albeit a brief one. A small delegation from the Endeavor, led by Commander Winters and Dr. Nader, would be allowed to set foot on the alien homeworld and engage in face-to-face negotiations. The tension was palpable as the shuttle carrying the human delegation descended through the alien planet's atmosphere. What would they find? Would the aliens prove to be hostile, or would they at least be open to the possibility of cooperation? As the shuttle touched down in a sprawling metropolitan area, the humans were immediately struck by the sheer scale and grandeur of the alien city. Towering spires of gleaming metal and glass reached towards the sky, while sleek, hover-powered vehicles glided silently through the streets. The air was thick with the hum of advanced technology, a constant reminder of the gulf between human and alien capabilities. Stepping out of the shuttle, the human delegation was met by a contingent of alien officials, their features largely obscured by their flowing robes and masks. The aliens greeted the humans with a curious detachment, their expressions unreadable. "Welcome to our world," said one of the officials, his voice resonating with a strange otherworldly quality. "We have agreed to this meeting, but you must understand that we have little interest in your kind. You are insignificant to us." Commander Winters felt a chill run down her spine at the alien's words. Insignificant. After all the effort and sacrifice humanity had made to reach this point, to be dismissed so casually was a bitter pill to swallow. "We come in peace, and with a desire to learn from your civilization," she replied, her voice steady despite the turmoil within. "Surely there is much we can offer in terms of cultural exchange and technological collaboration." The alien official regarded her for a moment, his head tilting slightly to the side. "Perhaps. But for now, your presence here is merely a curiosity. You have not yet proven yourselves worthy of our attention." With that, the delegation turned and began to walk away, leaving the humans standing in stunned silence. As they watched the aliens depart, a growing sense of unease settled over the human representatives. What did the aliens mean by worthy of their attention? And how could they ever hope to change the aliens' perception of humanity? The future, it seemed, was fraught with uncertainty, but the humans were determined to rise to the challenge, to prove their worth, and forge a meaningful connection with this advanced alien civilization. The journey had only just begun. The terse encounter with the alien officials had left the human delegation from the Endeavor unsettled and confused. Why had the aliens expressed such indifference towards their presence? Surely a civilization capable of such technological feats would be eager to engage with a new intelligent species to exchange knowledge and ideas. As the shuttle lifted off from the alien homeworld, Commander Winters and her team mulled over the puzzling interaction. "They said we haven't proven ourselves worthy of their attention," mused Dr. Nader, her brow furrowed in concentration. "But what exactly do they mean by that?" "That's the million-dollar question," sighed Winters. "We need to find out more about this alien civilization, understand their values, their priorities. Only then can we hope to bridge the gap between our two worlds." Back on the Endeavor, the crew immediately set to work, combing through every scrap of data they had gathered during their time in orbit. They pored over sensor readings, analyzed transmissions, and scoured historical archives in search of clues that might shed light on the aliens' curious behavior. It was painstaking work, but slowly, a picture began to emerge. The aliens, it seemed, possessed remarkable hunting and combat abilities, honed over millennia of evolutionary struggle. They were apex predators in their corner of the galaxy, capable of tracking and neutralizing even the most elusive prey with unparalleled skill and precision. "It's as if they view the entire galaxy as their hunting ground," remarked Dr. Nader, her fingers flying across the holographic displays. "And we humans, we're little more than harmless, insignificant creatures to them, barely registering on their radar." The realization was a sobering one. Humanity had dreamed of joining the galactic community, of forging alliances and sharing knowledge with advanced alien civilizations. But now, it seemed they had stumbled upon a race that quite simply did not care about their existence. "So how do we change that?" asked one of the junior officers, his voice laced with frustration. "How do we make them see us as more than just prey?" Winters and Nader exchanged a loaded glance, both of them acutely aware of the challenges that lay ahead. "That," said the commander, "is the question we must answer. The fate of our species may very well depend on it." In the days and weeks that followed, the Endeavor's crew redoubled their efforts, delving even deeper into the mysteries of the alien civilization. They studied the aliens' behavior, their technological prowess, and their social structures, searching for any potential points of leverage or common ground. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the news of humanity's first contact with an alien race had spread like wildfire. The public was abuzz with excitement and anticipation, eagerly awaiting the promised updates from the Endeavor. But as the reports trickled in, the mood began to shift. Humanity's initial euphoria gave way to a growing sense of unease as it became clear that the aliens viewed them with complete indifference. The idea that an advanced civilization could so casually dismiss the existence of an entire species was a sobering and unsettling revelation. How can we ever hope to be accepted as equals if they don't even see us as worthy of their notice? Lamented one prominent political commentator. This could spell disaster for our future as a spacefaring species. The pressure on the Endeavor's crew mounted as they faced increasing scrutiny and demands for answers. The fate of humanity's interstellar ambitions now rested squarely on their shoulders, and they knew they couldn't afford to fail. As the investigation progressed, the team began to uncover more disturbing insights into the aliens' psyche. They were not merely indifferent to the existence of other life forms. They were actively predatory, driven by an innate need to eliminate anything they perceived as weaker or less capable. It's as if they have an ingrained, almost instinctual drive to assert their dominance over the galaxy, said Dr. Nader, her voice tinged with a mixture of fascination and trepidation. Anything they deem a potential threat, they'll seek to destroy. The implications were staggering. If the aliens viewed humanity in this way, as little more than prey to be hunted and eliminated, then the very survival of the human race might be at stake. The crew of the Endeavor knew they had to find a way to change the aliens' perceptions, to prove that humanity was worthy of their attention and respect. But how? The gulf between human and alien capabilities seemed insurmountable, and the aliens had made it clear that they were not interested in engaging with insignificant life forms. The clock was ticking, and the future of humanity hung in the balance. As the Endeavor continued its observations and data gathering, the crew braced themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. They knew that the fate of their species was now inextricably linked to their ability to understand and navigate the complex and often ruthless dynamics of the alien civilization. Failure was not an option. The stakes were simply too high. The Endeavor's crew had made significant progress in unraveling the mystery of the alien civilization's curious disregard for humanity. Their research had revealed that the aliens were driven by an innate, almost instinctual need to assert their dominance over the galaxy, viewing anything they perceived as weaker as little more than prey to be hunted and eliminated. This revelation had sent shockwaves through the human population back on Earth, sparking fears that the survival of the species might be at stake. The pressure on the Endeavor's crew had intensified as they struggled to find a way to bridge the gap between the two civilizations and prove that humanity was worthy of the aliens' attention and respect. But just when it seemed that all hope was lost, an unexpected event would change the course of the mission forever. It happened during a routine scouting mission, as a small team of Endeavor personnel was dispatched to the alien homeworld to gather additional data. The team, led by a seasoned security officer named Lieutenant Jared Hawkins, had been instructed to maintain a low profile and avoid any direct interaction with the aliens. As they navigated the bustling streets of the alien metropolis, Hawkins and his team kept a watchful eye on their surroundings, ever mindful of the potential dangers that lurked in the unfamiliar environment. They moved with a sense of caution, their senses heightened, ready to react at the first sign of trouble. It was during this tense mission that the unexpected happened. As the team was making its way through a crowded market district, a sudden commotion erupted nearby. Shouting and the sound of screeching metal filled the air, and the humans instinctively reached for their weapons, bracing for a confrontation. To their horror, they witnessed a horrific scene unfolding before their eyes. A young alien child, seemingly separated from its guardian, had wandered into the path of a massive predatory creature, a ferocious alien predator that the humans had only seen in the data they had studied. The creature moved with lightning speed, its razor-sharp talons poised to strike the helpless child. Hawkins and his team knew that they had to act, even if it meant risking their own lives. Without hesitation, they rushed towards the scene, their weapons blazing. The alien predator, seemingly caught off guard by the sudden human intervention, hesitated for a fraction of a second. That was all the time Hawkins and his team needed to reach the child and shield it from the attack. In the aftermath of the confrontation, the humans found themselves surrounded by a crowd of stunned aliens, their expressions a mix of confusion and awe. The predator, having been driven off, had retreated, leaving the child unharmed, but the humans in a precarious position. As the team waited anxiously for the alien authorities to respond, Hawkins couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. They had just blatantly interfered with the natural order of the alien civilization, an act that could be perceived as a grave offense. Would the aliens see their actions as a sign of aggression, or would they recognize the humans' intent to protect the helpless child? The answer came swiftly, as a contingent of alien officials descended upon the scene. The humans braced themselves for the worst, but to their surprise, the aliens did not react with hostility. Instead, they studied the humans with a newfound curiosity, their body language conveying a sense of cautious interest. One of the officials, a tall, imposing figure, stepped forward and addressed the human team. "You have demonstrated courage and a willingness to protect the weak, traits that are not often found in the species we have encountered." The alien's voice held a note of grudging respect. "This is unusual." Hawkins and his team exchanged a puzzled glance, unsure of how to respond. They had expected the aliens to view their actions as a direct challenge to their authority, but instead, the aliens seemed intrigued by the humans' behavior. "We could not stand idly by while a child was in danger," Hawkins replied, his voice steady. "Protecting the innocent is a core value of our species." The alien official regarded him for a long moment, its inscrutable gaze probing. "This is significant," it said finally. "Your actions have piqued our interest. Perhaps you and your kind are not as insignificant as we had assumed." With that, the aliens gestured for the human team to follow, leading them deeper into the city. Hawkins and his companions exchanged bewildered looks, unsure of what to make of this unexpected turn of events. As they walked, the lieutenant couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope. Perhaps, just perhaps, this incident had provided the breakthrough they had been seeking, a way to change the aliens' perception of humanity and prove that they were worthy of the aliens' attention and respect. But even as this realization dawned, Hawkins couldn't shake the nagging sense of unease. The aliens had displayed an unparalleled prowess in hunting and combat, traits that had clearly enabled them to dominate their corner of the galaxy. What would happen if the humans were to truly earn the aliens' notice? Would it lead to a fruitful partnership, or would it put humanity on a collision course with a formidable and relentless adversary? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. The fate of humanity now rested on the outcome of this unexpected encounter. The crew of the Endeavor, and indeed all of humankind, waited with bated breath, their futures hanging in the balance. The unexpected incident on the alien homeworld had sent shockwaves through the crew of the Endeavor. Lieutenant Jared Hawkins and his team had witnessed firsthand the aliens' remarkable hunting abilities, their ruthless efficiency in eliminating perceived threats. And yet, the aliens had reacted with a curious mixture of indifference and intrigue when the humans had intervened to save the child from the predatory creature. This unexpected turn of events had sparked a glimmer of hope within the Endeavor's crew. Perhaps through this unexpected display of compassion and valor, they had managed to pique the aliens' interest, shattering the veil of indifference that had previously shrouded humanity in the aliens' eyes. But even as this realization dawned, the crew knew that they could not afford to be complacent. The aliens' prowess in hunting and combat was unparalleled, and if humanity was to ever gain their respect and acceptance, they would need to adapt and evolve at a breakneck pace. Back on the Endeavor, the research teams redoubled their efforts, poring over every scrap of data they had gathered about the alien civilization. They analyzed the aliens' weaponry, their defensive capabilities, and their overall approach to warfare, searching for any weaknesses or vulnerabilities that they could exploit. "We need to understand their strengths and weaknesses," said Commander Winters, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Only then can we develop countermeasures and technologies that will allow us to stand on equal footing with them." Alongside the military and technological advancements, the crew also recognized the importance of diplomacy and cultural understanding. They knew that if they were to truly earn the aliens' respect, they would need to bridge the gap between the two civilizations, finding common ground and establishing open lines of communication. To this end, the Endeavor's xenobiologists and linguists worked tirelessly, studying the aliens' language, their social structures, and their values. They sought to uncover the underlying motivations that drove the alien civilization, hoping to find a way to appeal to their sensibilities and demonstrate humanity's worthiness as a potential partner. "We need to show them that we're not just a collection of primitive, insignificant life forms," said Dr. Nader, her eyes alight with determination. "We have to prove that we possess qualities and abilities that the aliens will recognize and respect." As the months passed, the Endeavor's crew poured their hearts and souls into the task at hand. They worked around the clock, pushing the boundaries of their own technology and knowledge, driven by the ever-present specter of humanity's potential extinction. Back on Earth, the news of the Endeavor's mission had captured the public's imagination, fueling a renewed sense of purpose and unity. Governments and private industries alike poured resources into the effort, funding research and development programs aimed at enhancing humanity's capabilities. The race was on, and the stakes could not have been higher. If the humans failed to impress the aliens, to earn their respect and acknowledgement, they'd risked being relegated to the fringes of the galactic community, a fate that could ultimately spell the end of humanity's dreams of interstellar exploration and expansion. As the Endeavor's crew worked tirelessly to develop new technologies and tactics, they also faced the daunting challenge of maintaining hope in the face of such overwhelming adversity. The aliens' indifference and perceived superiority were a constant source of frustration and discouragement, and the thought of failing to secure humanity's future weighed heavily on their minds. But in the darkest moments, the crew would draw strength from the memory of that fateful encounter on the alien homeworld. The image of Lieutenant Hawkins and his team rushing to the aid of the helpless child, risking their own lives, had become a symbol of humanity's resilience and compassion. Traits that the aliens had seemed to recognize and appreciate, even if only for a fleeting moment. "We can't give up now," Winters would tell her crew, her voice firm and unwavering. "We've shown the aliens that we have the courage and the conviction to stand up for what's right. Now we need to prove that we have the intelligence and the ingenuity to match them, and more." With renewed determination, the Endeavor's team pushed forward, unleashing a torrent of technological breakthroughs and strategic innovations. They developed advanced defensive systems capable of withstanding the aliens' formidable weaponry, and devised new offensive capabilities that could level the playing field in a confrontation. And as they worked, the crew never lost sight of the ultimate goal: to forge a lasting alliance with the alien civilization, to prove that humanity was worthy of their attention and respect. For the fate of their species hung in the balance, and they would not rest until they had secured a future for all of humankind. Years had passed since the Endeavor's fateful encounter with the alien civilization, and the crew's tireless efforts had yielded remarkable results. Driven by the urgency of securing humanity's future, they had made astonishing advancements in both defensive and offensive technologies, developing new capabilities that could potentially shift the balance of power in the galaxy. The key breakthrough came in the form of a revolutionary weapon system, one that could effectively neutralize the aliens' formidable hunting abilities. It was a complex and ingenious device, the product of countless hours of research, experimentation, and innovation by the Endeavor's brightest minds. As the weapon neared completion, the crew knew that they were on the cusp of a pivotal moment in human history. This was their chance to prove their worth, to shatter the aliens' perception of humanity as insignificant prey, and establish themselves as a force to be reckoned with. The plan was daring, fraught with risk, but the stakes were too high to falter. The crew made the necessary preparations, ensuring that every contingency had been accounted for, and then set a course for the alien homeworld, their new weapon at the ready. When the Endeavor entered the alien system, the response was immediate. The aliens, alerted to the human vessel's presence, scrambled their formidable defenses, their sleek spacecraft darting through the void like predatory birds. Commander Winters and her team held their ground, their resolve unwavering. As the alien ships closed in, the Endeavor's weapon systems came to life, unleashing a barrage of energy pulses that disrupted the aliens' navigation and communication systems. Caught off guard by the unexpected assault, the aliens faltered, their vaunted hunting skills rendered useless by the human weapons' advanced countermeasures. The crew of the Endeavor watched in awe as the alien ships struggled to maintain their formations, their pilots clearly unsettled by the sudden turn of events. "Now," Winters shouted, and the Endeavor's secondary systems went to work, broadcasting a powerful signal that pierced the aliens' defenses and projected a clear, unambiguous message. "We are the humans, and we are no longer to be ignored," the message declared. "We have come to demonstrate our worth, to prove that we are more than just harmless prey. The time has come for you to acknowledge our existence and to accept us as equals in this galaxy." The alien ships, still reeling from the initial attack, fell back, their commanders clearly weighing their options. For long, tense moments, the two sides faced off, the air thick with a palpable sense of uncertainty. And then something remarkable happened. One by one, the alien ships began to disengage, their pilots seemingly compelled to respond to the humans' bold declaration. The Endeavor's crew watched, holding their breath, as the alien vessels retreated, leaving a clear and unmistakable path for the human vessel to proceed. "They're letting us through," breathed Lieutenant Hawkins, his eyes wide with disbelief. "They're actually acknowledging our presence." Winters nodded, a triumphant smile spreading across her face. "We've done it, people. We've proven our worth in the eyes of the aliens. Now it's time to take the next step." With renewed confidence, the Endeavor pressed on, its course set for the alien homeworld. As they approached the planet's surface, the crew was met with a sight that they had scarcely dared to imagine. A grand welcome, complete with fleets of alien ships and towering structures that seemed to brim with activity. It was a stunning reversal, a testament to the power of human ingenuity and determination. The aliens, once so dismissive of the humans, had been forced to acknowledge their existence, and now they were prepared to engage with them as equals. "This is just the beginning," Winters declared, addressing her crew. "From this point forward, our relationship with the alien civilization will be defined by mutual respect and cooperation. We have proven that we are worthy of their attention, and now it is time to forge a lasting alliance that will shape the future of both our species." The crew erupted in cheers, their spirits soaring with a sense of triumph and boundless optimism. The long, arduous journey had been worth it, and now they stood on the precipice of a new era, one in which humanity would take its rightful place among the stars, no longer relegated to the fringes of the galactic community. As the Endeavor descended towards the alien homeworld, the crew knew that they were embarking on a new chapter, one that would test their courage, their resourcefulness, and their ability to navigate the complexities of interstellar diplomacy. But they were undaunted, their confidence buoyed by the knowledge that they had already achieved the impossible. The future, once shrouded in uncertainty, now glimmered with promise. And the crew of the Endeavor, pioneers of a new age, were ready to seize it with both hands. The Endeavor's bold display of technological prowess and unwavering determination had forced the alien civilization to acknowledge the existence and potential of humanity. Gone were the days of dismissive indifference. Now the aliens were prepared to engage with the humans as equals, their curiosity piqued and their wariness tempered by a newfound respect. As the human vessel descended towards the alien homeworld, the crew could feel the weight of history pressing down on their shoulders. This was a pivotal moment, a chance to redefine the relationship between the two civilizations and pave the way for a future of cooperation and mutual understanding. Commander Winters and her team disembarked from the Endeavor, greeted by a contingent of alien officials who seemed almost hesitant in their approach. The humans could sense the underlying tension, the unease that lingered in the air as the two sides came face to face. "Welcome to our world," one of the officials said, his voice a strange, ethereal echo. "We have agreed to this alliance, though we still have much to learn about your kind." Winters nodded, her expression calm and measured. "The feeling is mutual," she replied. "We come to you in the spirit of cooperation, with the hope that we can forge a lasting partnership that will benefit both our civilizations." The alien official regarded her for a moment, his masked features betraying nothing. "We shall see," he said simply, before gesturing for the humans to follow. As they traversed the sprawling alien city, the Endeavor's crew could not help but marvel at the sheer scale and complexity of the alien civilization. The towering spires, the sleek hover vehicles, and the bustling streets, all of it a testament to the aliens' technological prowess and their mastery of their environment. Yet, beneath the surface, a sense of unease lingered. The humans could feel the curious, almost predatory gaze of the aliens upon them, a constant reminder of the fragility of their newfound alliance. "They're still sizing us up, aren't they?" murmured Dr. Nader, her eyes darting from one alien to the next. "Of course they are," replied Lieutenant Hawkins, his jaw set in a determined line. "We may have earned their attention, but we haven't yet proven ourselves worthy of their trust." Winters listened to the exchange, her brow furrowed in thought. She knew that the path ahead would be treacherous, filled with challenges and potential pitfalls. The aliens had centuries, if not millennia, of experience in the ways of interstellar politics and diplomacy, a fact that put the humans at a distinct disadvantage. But she also knew that they had no choice but to forge ahead, to navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries that define the alien civilization. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and they could not afford to falter, no matter the cost. As the delegation entered a grand ornate chamber, the alien officials took their places, their robes and masks giving them an almost regal air. Winters and her team followed suit, their postures straight and their eyes fixed on the aliens before them. "We have called you here to discuss the terms of our alliance," one of the officials began, his voice laced with a hint of reluctance. "It is a delicate matter, and we have much to consider." Winters nodded, her hands clasped behind her back. "We are here to listen, and to work towards a mutually beneficial agreement. Humanity is ready to take its place among the stars, but we understand that trust must be earned." The alien official regarded her for a long moment, his head tilting slightly to the side. "Indeed, and you must understand that our ways are not your own. We have existed for millennia, and we have learned to navigate the perils of the galaxy with a certain ruthlessness." Winters felt a chill run down her spine at the alien's words, but she refused to let it show. "We are prepared to learn, to adapt. Humanity has faced its own challenges, and we have emerged stronger for it. We believe that together, our two civilizations can achieve greatness." The official nodded, a slight incline of his head. "Then let us begin the negotiations, human. The fate of both our worlds may depend on the outcome." As the talks commenced, the Endeavor's crew watched with bated breath, their minds racing with the implications of this momentous event. They knew that the path ahead would be fraught with uncertainty, that the aliens' trust would not be easily won. But they also knew that they had no choice but to succeed. The future of humanity depended on it, and they were determined to rise to the challenge, to prove that they were worthy of a place among the stars. The negotiation would be long and arduous, but the crew of the Endeavor was ready. They had come too far to turn back now, and they were prepared to do whatever it took to forge a lasting alliance with the alien civilization, even if it meant navigating the treacherous waters of interstellar politics. As the delicate negotiations between the humans and the alien civilization progressed, the crew of the Endeavor watched with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. The path towards a lasting alliance was littered with challenges and potential pitfalls, and they knew that a single misstep could undo all of their hard-earned progress. Yet, despite the inherent risks, the humans were determined to seize this opportunity and forge a new future for their species. They had come too far to turn back now, and the stakes were simply too high to allow failure. Under Commander Winter's steady guidance, the Endeavor's delegation navigated the complex web of alien politics and diplomacy, carefully balancing their own interests with the need to build trust and mutual understanding. It was a dance of words and subtle gestures, a constant test of their diplomatic acumen and their ability to adapt to the aliens' unfamiliar cultural norms. But slowly, ever so slowly, the ice began to thaw. As the negotiations continued, the aliens gradually opened up, sharing glimpses of their rich history, their technological innovations, and the challenges they have faced in their own past. And in turn, the humans shared their own stories, their dreams, and their unwavering determination to carve out a place for themselves in the galactic community. They're starting to see us as more than just primitive, insignificant creatures, marveled Dr. Nader, her eyes shining with a mixture of pride and disbelief. We're becoming equals in their eyes. Winters nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of her lips. It's a slow process, but we're making progress. They're beginning to understand that we have much to offer, that our partnership could be mutually beneficial. As the negotiations progressed, the humans leveraged their newfound status to gain access to the aliens' advanced technologies and knowledge. They studied the aliens' impressive spacecraft, their sophisticated communication networks, and their cutting-edge weapon systems, marveling at the sheer elegance and complexity of the alien engineering. Fueled by this influx of information, the Endeavor's crew set to work, integrating the alien technologies with their own, and rapidly advancing their own scientific and military capabilities. They developed new defensive systems, capable of withstanding the aliens' formidable firepower, and devised innovative offensive strategies that could effectively counter the aliens' hunting prowess. The transformation was nothing short of remarkable. Where once the humans had been perceived as insignificant, they now stood as equals, their technological might and strategic acumen commanding the respect and attention of the alien civilization. "We're no longer just playing catch-up," said Lieutenant Hawkins, his eyes alight with a newfound confidence. "We're pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and the aliens are taking notice." Indeed, the aliens, once so dismissive of the humans, now regarded them with a mixture of curiosity and cautious admiration. They watched as the Endeavor's crew made one breakthrough after another, their technological mastery and adaptability a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the human species. "They are impressive," murmured one of the alien officials during a particularly tense negotiation session. "We had not anticipated the rate at which your kind would advance." Winters seized the opportunity, her voice calm and measured. "We are a species driven by the desire to explore, to learn, and to grow. Our partnership with you has only accelerated that process. Together, we can achieve greatness." The alien official considered her words, his head tilting slightly to the side. "Perhaps," he conceded, "but you must understand, we do not easily relinquish our position of dominance. You have proven your worth, but you are still newcomers to the galactic stage." Winters nodded, her expression never wavering. "We are aware of the challenges that lie ahead, but we are also confident in our abilities and in the strength of our partnership. With your guidance and our determination, we will forge a new path, one that benefits both our civilizations." The alien official regarded her for a long moment, and then, to the surprise of the human delegation, he inclined his head in a gesture of grudging respect. "Very well, human," he said. "We shall see what the future holds." As the negotiations continued, the Endeavor's crew could feel the balance of power shifting, their once tenuous position evolving into one of cautious equality. The aliens, once so dismissive of their existence, now viewed the humans as potential rivals, their technological prowess and strategic acumen a source of both fascination and apprehension. It was a remarkable transformation, one that had been forged through years of hard work, determination, and an unwavering commitment to the future of their species. And as the crew of the Endeavor prepared to return to Earth, they knew that the path ahead would be filled with challenges, but they were undaunted, their sights set firmly on the stars. For the future, once shrouded in uncertainty, now glimmered with promise, a promise of cooperation, of shared knowledge, and of a new era of exploration and discovery. And the humans, once dismissed as insignificant, were poised to take their rightful place among the galactic community, their destiny no longer defined by the whims of a superior alien civilization, but by their own ambition and ingenuity. The long, arduous journey that had begun with the Endeavor's fateful first contact with the alien civilization had finally reached a pivotal turning point. Through a combination of technological innovation, diplomatic savvy, and sheer determination, the humans had managed to shatter the aliens' perception of them as insignificant prey, earning their respect and grudging acknowledgement as equals. As the Endeavor prepared to depart the alien homeworld, the crew could feel the weight of history pressing down upon them. They had achieved what once seemed impossible, forging a new path for humanity's future among the stars. But now, the real work began. The task of navigating the complex web of interstellar politics and building a lasting, mutually beneficial partnership with the alien civilization. "This is just the beginning," declared Commander Winters, her voice ringing with a mixture of pride and resolve. "The fate of our species no longer rests solely in our own hands. From this point forward, we must work in tandem with the aliens, leveraging our respective strengths to secure a brighter future for all." The crew responded with a chorus of enthusiastic cheers, their spirits soaring with a newfound sense of purpose and optimism. They had come so far, overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds, and now they were poised to take their place alongside the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. As the Endeavor lifted off from the alien homeworld, the humans caught one last glimpse of the towering spires and bustling streets, a stark reminder of the technological and cultural gulf that had once separated the two species. But that gulf had been bridged, and in its place stood the promise of a new era of cooperation and shared progress. "This is where the real work begins," murmured Dr. Nader, her eyes fixed on the receding alien world. "We've proven our worth, but now we must prove that we can be worthy partners." Winters nodded, her expression grim but resolute. "We've come too far to falter now. The fate of our species depends on our ability to navigate this new landscape, to forge alliances, and leverage our resources in ways that benefit both our civilizations." The journey back to Earth was marked by a palpable sense of anticipation and trepidation. The crew knew that their triumphant return would be met with a mixture of awe, excitement, and no small amount of scrutiny. After all, the fate of humanity had rested on their shoulders, and the world would be watching to see what they had accomplished. But as the Endeavor's sleek, alien-inspired silhouette came into view over the horizon, the crew could feel a surge of pride and determination coursing through their veins. They had done the impossible, and now it was time to share their story with the rest of humanity, to inspire a new generation of explorers, innovators, and diplomats who would carry the torch into the future. The welcome home was nothing short of a spectacle, with crowds of cheering onlookers and a parade of government officials eager to hear the crew's account of their extraordinary mission. But amidst the fanfare, the Endeavor's crew remained focused on the task at hand, forging a new era of cooperation and collaboration between Earth and the alien civilization. In the weeks and months that followed, the humans and the aliens worked tirelessly to establish the foundations of their alliance. They exchanged delegations, shared technological and scientific advancements, and explored the vast expanse of the galaxy together, each side bringing unique perspectives and capabilities to the table. The challenges were many, and the path was not always smooth. There were moments of tension, of misunderstanding, and even of outright conflict. But through it all, the humans and the aliens remained committed to their partnership, driven by a shared vision of a future where their two civilizations could achieve greatness side by side. And as the years passed, the fruits of their labor became increasingly evident. Joint scientific expeditions led to groundbreaking discoveries, while collaborative technological ventures spawned innovations that revolutionized interstellar travel, communication, and defense. The once wary aliens had become trusted allies, and the humans had proven themselves to be worthy partners in the great endeavor of exploring and shaping the galaxy. "We've come so far," mused Winters, as she stood on the bridge of the Endeavor, her eyes fixed on the distant stars. Who would have thought that a single act of compassion could have set in motion such a momentous change? Beside her, Lieutenant Hawkins nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of his lips. "The future is ours to write, Commander," he replied. "And with our alien partners by our side, I have no doubt that we will do great things." As the Endeavor's crew prepared for their next mission, they knew that the road ahead would be filled with challenges and uncertainties. But they were undaunted, their spirits buoyed by the knowledge that they were no longer mere outcasts, but valued members of a vast, interconnected galactic community. The human race had taken its rightful place among the stars, and the future had never looked brighter.